So I give it a chance. And give people a chance to know we're here.
Yep.
And we're live.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put this puppy on manual. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Turn Left. I am your host, Indiana's own Dana Black, coming to you live from Collaborative 317 and RadioNext.tv. We're doing it big over here in Hancock County. Hey, welcome everybody. I hope everyone had a fantastic Valentine's Day. I know I did, but after about 10 years, my wife and I just go, love you. You know what I'm saying? Every day is Valentine's Day, but she did hook me up. She hooked me up. She made me a heart-shaped pineapple upside down cake. Now, if you recall, I've shared with many of you over the months and weeks, my wife is a gluten-free vegan. So my Valentine's Day cake was a gluten-free vegan cake. But it had great pineapples in it. It had great pineapples. So thank you, wife. I appreciate you. I love you. Gluten-free. Vegan. But that's my wife. She's trying to keep me around for a little while, I guess. I don't know. Hey, you guys know last week I talked about how excited I was about my alma mater having a t-shirt drive for Puerto Rico. We gonna get to all the other stuff. Trust, no, believe. There's too much out here to talk about today for us not to talk about some other things. But I went and picked up my t-shirt last Friday. I want to give a super big shout out to the designers over there. North Central High School came through. Look at that. NC for PR. That is a good looking t-shirt. I will have this on at something. Trust, know, and believe, Indiana's own. Thank you, North Central, for caring about Puerto Rico more than 45, more than Congress, more than the Senate. Thank you so very much, North Central High School Student Council students, for having a heart, compassion, and doing your thing. I got my t-shirt. All right. First, I want to also remind you guys, tomorrow, we're doing the thing here, the jazz mixer. Friday, February 16, 2018, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., community rule nonprofit jazz mixer featuring North of Eden. So we'll have nonprofits here, networking, vendors, authors, a cash bar. Gotta have jazz, gotta have a little wine, right? Come on out, join us, 4202 North EMS Boulevard, Greenfield, Indiana, out here in Hancock County, District 88, Poonam. Yes, I know you're doing it, girl. $10. That's all it is, $10, but it's a great way to help support what we do over here at Radio Next, all community, all the time, all the different shows that are on. You guys really make what we do happen. Also, if you're interested in being a sponsor of the show, you want people to share some information about what you have going on, reach out to me. There's a way to do that because, we still have to keep the lights on. So if you're interested and we're getting more viewers every week, more and more viewers every week. People are sharing it. So if you want to invest in Turn Left and Radio Next and what we're doing over here at Collaborative 317, please join us. I'm excited about it. So I want to go ahead and bring my guest in early today because I want us to spend a little time. As usual, I am going to ask her to share her story about who she is and where she comes from. But I want us in that 15-minute block that I usually do where I talk about issues and concerns, I want to bring her in because the more Democrat voices that you hear on this subject, the better chances we have of electing qualified leaders to our state house to deal with issues on the right way. Because neither one of us are getting NRA money. Neither one of us. I want you to welcome to Turn Left my girl, Sherry Shipley. She came all the way over from Lafayette. Thank you so much for joining us on Turn Left. It is a pleasure to have you here.
It's so cool to be here. Hello from the Yeti. So
the Yetis?
That's what we say.
The Yetis?
The Yeti.
Okay, learning something new every day.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, so, before we get into your story, we had another horrific mass shooting, and I can talk about this all day. But I wanted to bring you in so that we could talk about this together. I think I haven't even talked to you about this previously, but I imagine that you and I are probably very close to being on the same page.
I would assume so.
On a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
Tell me what your thoughts and feelings were when you heard about just the 19th mass shooting of 2018.
It's a gut punch to everybody, but I think this one's different, and we talked about that a little bit earlier, that I really think this might be the one. We've got to get serious about this. We've got to make sure that folks with mental health issues are not getting access to guns. So that is something that, they took away. If you were on Social Security and you were deemed you couldn't be financially responsible, you could not go out and purchase a gun. So, that's common sense, getting back to those common sense gun laws. I want to do things like talking to parents of newborns in a hospital and saying, do you have a gun in your home? And just having that conversation that nurses and neonatal educators and people like that aren't able to have those conversations. Right. So we really need to do that. And I also want to talk a little bit about the Dickey Amendment. The Dickey Amendment. All right, share that with us. So I think it was like 1996. It was added on, Republican congressman added on to, I think it was an omnibus bill budget, but it basically says that the CDC, you can't do research on gun violence. I remember that. Right, I remember that. Why are we afraid to study it? Why are we afraid to research it? Well, because if you have real, tangible data to counter what the NRA is saying, you can have a real conversation. Exactly. And people don't want you to have a real conversation. They want you, because they listen. The other side has managed to dictate the narrative. The narrative is always, we are against the Second Amendment. No, we are not against the Second Amendment. Just like I like a lot of the amendments. Yeah. I wasn't too fond of the Prohibition Amendment, but it was one. It was one. But I mean, I love the First Amendment, the 19th, the 14th, 15th, 16th, all of those. So it's not like we favor one over the other. Right. You have the right to bear arms. However, I have listened to more hunters and hunting enthusiasts and people who enjoy having firearms say, what do you need an AR-15 for? Yeah, and my husband's a hunter. He hunts, well, he used to, but his knees are bad now, but he was an upland game hunter, and so many Thanksgivings he was gone in the mornings. We'd wait till he'd get back. So it is not about taking your guns. Nobody wants to take your guns. Nobody wants to do that. Hillary didn't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Right. So you're right. We've got to change the narrative and stop letting them drive the conversation and drive everything we talk about with false facts, false data. Absolutely. So now we have in our state house, because I know you're running for a state senate seat, correct? Yes, Senate District 22. 22. There's a bill in the House right now, or the Senate right now, one of them in Congress, or in our state house, General Assembly, talking about, let's just have a no permit. Let's just let anybody just go buy a gun whenever they want. We're not even going to have a permit. Forget background checks. Right. We're not even going to log you as having a permit to potentially own a weapon. I mean, what would you do differently if you were sitting there right now and you were already elected to office? What would you do differently? Well, definitely, do something about that. We've got to have permits. There's got to be registrations. But the other thing is, one of the platforms that I'm running on is technology. I'm a tech person. Hey. Yep. So, I love that. Let's make sure we've got a working background check system with upgraded technology and software that it can be done anywhere. Because guess what? That's something you should be able to do at a gun show. Absolutely. If I can take a credit card, you better believe it. So now the argument always is, and I find this argument incredibly funny, because there's this notion that, oh my God, then they will have a list of us. They will have my information. People, let me explain something to you. I don't know if you know this or not, but before you had the right to determine what happened to you, your prints were in a system. The moment your mother gave birth to you, I don't care if you're adopted or still with your mother now. The moment your mother gave birth to you, they took your footprint, they took your handprint, and nobody's prints are the same.
Now, they may evolve over the years, but guess what? They got you in the system. The second thing they do is they issue you a what? A social security number. People, stop acting as if there's not a grand system that has your data already locked inside. It's there. You have a driver's license. The state has your data. If you have ever filed a claim for anything, the county has your data. So stop pretending like, they're trying to create this registry of gun owners. That's not it. But even if they were, it's not like it would be that hard to recreate that data from existing data. Now, they don't have your DNA, which I'm not a big fan of the DNA thing, but that's another story for another day. All right.
Well, if you have a smartphone and if you're on any type of social media platform, believe me, they have a profile of you. You don't have these random ads pop up that, oh, geez, I do need one of those.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
I don't. AR-15, and it's another. And I find it interesting that gun violence is not limited to any demographic of our society.
Right.
Every demographic of our society is prone to and can become victims of gun violence. You look at what's going on in Chicago, what that looks like. You look at all these mass shootings at all these schools and who the perpetrators are. What I will push back on is this notion that we have to build walls, that we have to stop and frisk, that we have to somehow ban immigrants from certain Muslim nations to keep ourselves safe, when we have homegrown terrorists right here that are capable of causing more havoc than anybody that's coming from anywhere else to cause havoc on us. Stop letting the notion that there's the others are coming to get you. Stop that. Open your eyes and realize the others are not coming to get you. The others just want to come here and have an opportunity for a better life.
Right.
They don't care nothing about you. They usually come and they stay in their little space. If you go on the south side of Indianapolis, we have a huge Burmese population. If you're not on the south side of Indianapolis, you don't see that Burmese population. So stop letting people tell you about the others and what their goals are. Bottom line is, we have Americans that are willing to snuff out other Americans at a rate that does not happen in any other nation on the planet. All right.
Yeah, that's
right. That's that for that.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
Sherry Shipley, tell us about who you are and why you decided, other than, some common sense gun reform, why are you running for office? Let's find out who you are.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Cass County, Logansport area.
Yeah.
Graduated from Pioneer High School. Go Panthers! Actually, they won football state championship.
You know what? I'm telling you, this is really starting to be a little freaky, right? We determined that we're born in the same month.
Yep.
We're both adopted, and we both our high school mascots. Panthers.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This might be my sister.
It could be from another mister, because I don't know. So. Anyway.
I'm not doing a genealogy.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. Grew up there where I got an amazing public education. The best. Okay. And we had a great library, but one of the biggest events of my life when I was a child, no lie, was when the bookmobile started coming to our elementary school. And yay, I had other books to read, because I read all the biographies and, all that kind of thing. So that was such a gift to me. I remember as a kid. So, very important. And I went to
Wait, did you go to a public school?
Public school? You better believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look, we have another intelligent person who actually went to a public school.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. No. So I graduated and went to IU and didn't get a degree, but I was a lead singer in a band while I was there.
Nice. Experiences.
Opened for the Peter Tork Project at the Weaver.
We'll have to talk about that offline, because I know there was some, good times. You was a lead singer. There had to be some fun.
There was. There was. And then moved back to Cass County due to some family issues and everything, and then ended up meeting my husband the old-fashioned way, not online, but in a bar, like people did back in the day. So
I met my wife in a basement.
Okay, well, but went on to get a bachelor's degree in English and education. Okay. from a small Christian college, actually in Ohio, because my husband got a job there.
Okay.
And it was August, and I couldn't find an English teaching job, and he's going, "You need a job," you know?
Well, yeah.
And so I actually interviewed for a library media job at a school.
Okay.
And they said, "Will you be the cheerleading advisor?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "Okay, you can be the librarian." So went right back in and got a master's in library media and technology.
Nice.
And it was really cool because it was just the time when they were putting all kinds of money in the schools for computers. So the first thing they did, they come in and they drilled holes in the walls and they put routers up.
Okay.
And then the next round of money, they came in and they gave us hardware.
Okay.
Well, they never came with any money for software, and they never came with any money to train these teachers.
Right.
And I had a second grade teacher say, "You can put that computer in my classroom. I'm going to set a plan on it." And so, we knew this was a problem because she had the superintendent's kid coming in her class.
Okay.
We started really working with training teachers on how to use technology in the classroom, just, cobbling together what I could find. Realized I really like to do that. So I decided to, and I had 2 kids at the time, and we were having daycare issues with my son, as I know a lot of moms can relate to. So I quit and went back to get a PhD in industrial technology management from Indiana State. Go Trees. So that was cool. And then just did some things, some adjunct work there, here and there, and then got hired actually full-time at Trine University, which used to be Tri-State Angola.
Okay.
And I was there for a while, and then 6 years ago, I came to Lafayette to be a dean at Ivy Tech in Lafayette.
Oh my goodness! First and foremost, I do believe, even though there is a 41-9 advantage, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, I do believe if you are elected, the scales would now balance, especially intellectually.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, you bringing mad game.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you are bringing mad game. You are, where to begin? Okay. Environment. Wait. So what made you decide that you wanted slow down, Dana? I'm just excited. I wanted to get all geeky with it real quick, right? My brain said IT, environment, particular. Yeah. Okay. So what made you want to get involved with public policy and serving as a public servant?
Well, I was raised a Democrat. My parents were Teamsters, so that we were involved with labor and that kind of thing. And I was always a very liberal person, going along. But after the last election, I was gobsmacked, and I thought, really, America? This is the best we can do? No freaking way.
Right.
No.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
And I just felt like we have to get better, smarter people to run.
Absolutely.
And people like me. And so it was a good time for me personally. I've been married 30 years to the same man. I'm an empty nester.
Okay.
And so, actually, for about 2 weeks after the election, I was a mess, like a lot of people. And I'd cry and everything. And my husband said one day, he said, "Honey, you have got to get yourself together. You've got to do something."
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he meant like yoga or something. And I said, you're right. I do need to do something.
Okay.
And so...
Did you go to any of the women's marches?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I was in Lafayette, went with a friend. We had 2,000 people show up.
Okay.
It was amazing.
That's what's up. Because I know down in Indy we had anywhere between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
When the numbers are still a little fuzzy. Depends on who you ask. If you ask Trump, it was 20,000 people. It was the biggest women's march ever.
Yeah.
But if you ask, real thinking people, it was probably between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
And I know when we were at the march, you could just see like women's, and it wasn't just a women's march. We had everybody there, but it was really like, oh my God, the complacency, the mistake we made by not showing up.
Right.
This is the culmination of that.
Right.
And one of the messages was, we screwed up. Yeah. We screwed up. We didn't there were a lot of things that happened that we shouldn't have done, but now we know better. We have to be involved. We have to make it happen. And, oh, by the way, run for office.
Yes.
And now we have, like,
so many
crazy women.
Pink wave.
And listen, these women are not just, like, not that there's anything wrong with anybody. I can't wait to get like a union rep running for office on my team, because there's a space for that, and we haven't really dove into that. But a lot of the women that are coming are so much more qualified to debate policy than the people I see already elected to office. I'm excited about that, because we're talking about intelligent, thinking women.
Yes, yeah, and I've always really tried to mentor young women, be a role model for young women, young people in general, but and women that work for me. I've always really tried to develop them, and so to me this is just an extension of that, and just really encourage them to put yourself out there. And the day after the election, if you lose, you pick yourself up, you go on.
Absolutely.
And so, I'm really trying to gather people at the same time.
Absolutely. I know after I was done, I was like, okay, well, I can't serve my community as an elected official for District 88, but what else can I do?
Right.
And once you get the bug of being, it's really like an addiction. It really is. Once you get the bug of seeing that we can do better for our neighbors, it doesn't stop.
No.
It doesn't leave your system, especially if you're a caring person. And listen, the other thing is that if you think about it, America needs to be nurtured right now.
Yes.
Our hearts are broken for multiple reasons. We keep having our babies being shot, and they're going to school to learn. You were excited about the book bus showing up.
Yeah.
We never imagined being kids having to do, we did a tornado drill.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Right.
And I know the generation probably before us did the Red Scare drill.
Yeah, get under the desk.
But never did we think that we would have to, teachers would be trained on how to deal with mass shootings.
Right.
So I'm just, we need to be healed. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying, I've got great male friends that know how to be amazing fathers and are nurturing people, but honestly, some of the folks that are in our leadership now, they don't understand what it is to nurture America.
No.
We want to say, if you need Medicare, Medicaid, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go figure out how to work 40 hours. Well, we're talking about the elderly, the disabled, the youth, the students,
Yes.
I mean, speak to me about, let's speak to me about healthcare and how we, become more compassionate and nurturing to our citizens.
Yeah, well, that's just it. We've got to get out and talk to people, and there's too much separation, I think, too, in terms of our elected officials who've been there so long. They've been there so long, they're completely out of touch. And,
term limits, man.
Yeah, and so one of the things I'm really passionate about is workforce development.
Okay.
It's what I do every day. We're 45th. Indiana's 45th in the nation in workforce preparedness.
Why are we always in the 40s for everything? The only thing we're number one in is coal ash pits.
Yeah. But we're a great place to do business.
Because we don't pay our workers. There's that. The wages in Indiana are stagnant, so you can come in here and pay people peanuts, and we'll give you a tax break for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Pay people peanuts, and we'll give you a tax break for that.
Yeah, and just like you said, 9 out of 50 senators in the General Assembly are Democrats. So one of the things that does is you're supposed to have Democrats and Republicans on every committee. So that means 9 people have to scramble
to get to every committee.
To get to all these committee meetings. So whereas the Republican senators maybe only sit on a couple committees, 2 or 3, you've got our Democratic senators racing around like crazy people trying to do all this work.
Oh, my goodness.
It's really important.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Yes, and the impact of the supermajority is really, really far and wide that a lot of people don't think about.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about your guy. It's not just about your individual representative.
Yeah.
But it's really about the big picture and the system and the systemic ways that people are being marginalized. Let's look at Public Health Committee, okay? I saw we had our legislative breakfast the other day, and this older white gentleman was there, and he serves on our Public Health Committee. And I thought, and we have an alarmingly high infant mortality rate in Indiana that continues to rise.
Yes.
Continues
in
to rise.
2018.
Yes. And I'm looking at this guy and thinking, you have no idea. It's not even on your radar.
No.
It's not even on your radar.
Not even thinking about it.
Not even thinking about it. So we have just got to get new people with vision. And that's what I think I see is a lack of vision. You know, they're like, oh, there's a problem. How can we fix it? Oh, you know, spice. Perfect example.
Okay, tell me about spice.
Well, first of all, don't call it synthetic marijuana.
Oops.
Don't call it synthetic marijuana.
Sherry said, do not call spice
Don't.
synthetic marijuana because it's not.
It's not.
What is it?
Well, it's, who knows?
Oh.
That's the thing. You don't know what kind of chemicals that they're spraying on whatever kind of leaves that they're selling there.
Wow.
And you can get caught with a trunk load of spice. And the penalties and the fines are extremely low. Wow. And I've heard our leaders say, well, you know, we tried, but they just changed the formula, or we tried and we can't do it. So I'm tired of we tried that and it didn't work, so, you know, throw up our hands.
Man, they kill me with that.
Yeah.
But now, what I did find interesting was that once the alcohol and liquor store consortiums got together and decided to play nice with each other, our legislative body decided, we can have Sunday alcohol sales.
Let's talk about that.
You want to talk about Sunday?
I do want to talk about that.
Well, go, girl.
Because my opponent actually heads that committee, or is very, very important person on that committee. And it's just really interesting. And I've had a lot of people tell me it's really interesting since I got into the race. There's been a lot of movement there.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that.
And by the way, why are we the only state that regulates alcohol?
By
regulates
temperature?
Beer by temperature?
By temperature?
Yeah.
Only in Indiana, man.
Only
in Indiana. I sometimes I have to remind, like, y'all probably have something in my eye. I have to remind my people, you know, when it's hard to defend Indiana sometimes. It's hard to, like, I love my state and I am Indiana's own. But it's hard when you have elected officials doing dumb stuff for no reason.
Yes. And sometimes I think that our manufacturers and our tech leaders, that they're blind to that connection of those social issues and those social policies that keep coming out of Indianapolis. They're impacting us, They're impacting us. So in terms of venture capital investment, in terms of tech companies coming here.
You would think that the rest of the state of Indiana would want to follow some of what Indianapolis does, because Indianapolis is the economic hub of the rest of the state.
Absolutely.
Which is why the Republicans and the supermajority work so hard to try to control the city county council, and then somebody just gave that power away.
What a mess.
Oh man, Monday's gonna be interesting. I won't be there, but Monday. But anyway, back to you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought the Sunday alcohol sales thing was just kind of like funny. That by the way, by the time the consortiums come together, we can pass a bill, which lets you know who is actually really running our government. But we can fix that, right? Mm-hmm. All we have to do is elect people who are representing us. I wanted to tweet today, and I didn't get a chance to do it. Yes, the NRA and their lobbyists have a lot more money, but human being and human life lobbyists have more people.
We talked a little bit before we went on air that I said, I think this one's different. I think this one's different, and I'll tell you why I think it's different. There's a soundtrack to this one.
Okay. Oh, what do you mean a soundtrack?
There's a soundtrack to this one because those kids were Snapchatting and Instagramming and videoing and playing that almost simultaneously as it was happening. It was going out. We have the video and the sound of those kids crouching in a room and the sound of that gun. We have that.
Sure.
And I'll tell you why else I think it's different, because I've worked with young people my entire adult career, and I'm so optimistic. Okay. If you work with young people, you are hopeful. You are optimistic because they are going to save us all. They're amazing.
They are.
They're caring. They're smart. They're funny.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They will not stand for this. They are going to hold their feet to the fire. I think our young people are going to, push us to do the right thing this time.
And I hope that you're right. I am gonna hope and pray that you're right. But my skepticism in the people who are in place doing the right thing is minimal, because they allowed little white suburban children as Sandy Hook. Yeah. And listen, listen, I know y'all don't want to hear the black and white of it all, and I get that. Sometimes it makes y'all uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. But that's why there's a difference between, calling the white shooter a mental health patient and calling the shooter of color a terrorist or a criminal or a thug. This is how America is. It just is.
Oh, we saw the same thing with drugs.
Same thing, right?
When opioids were impacting rural white America...
I ain't even gotta say it. Right. Before it was a criminal thing.
Absolutely.
So when America allowed its little white babies to be gunned down, and they just went on to the next thing, I was like, until we change the people who are elected in office, nothing is going to change.
Yep.
I'm sorry. They let little white babies die. Listen, somebody posted it today. The St. Valentine's Day massacre. What killed? Was it 7 people?
Yes. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That was 17 people killed yesterday.
Right.
These. I'm telling you, the gun lobby. The gun lobby has their politicians so petrified. They're more scared of the NRA than sending their kid to a high school that could be shot up.
Correct.
Because some of those people got kids that are still in school, but they're more scared of what the NRA will do to them in their home district than the fact that their kid is going to a school that could be shot up by somebody carrying an AR-15.
Yeah.
They're punks and they're scared. And I'm sorry that I maybe because I haven't felt real fear in my life, or the fact that I'm here and I know dying is a part of life.
But not when you're 15. But
not when you're 15. But I am not beholden to when Jumbo Love says this is something we want to do for the show. This is his radio station. I acquiesce because this is his radio station, and I will make sure. Make sure that I, comply with what he wants. But for the most part, I'm not beholden to anybody.
Right.
And so when you give your individual power away to somebody else, and they can skip. First of all, the politicians they went from outies to innies, and I mean that. And if you're gonna have a bunch of used to be outies who are now innies, you might as well elect more women. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So I can go all day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tell us about your platform. Tell us about the 3 main issues that have you going, that you've outlined and you're going to campaign on.
So
I got to bring it back to my guest. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I love your passion. That's awesome. And so we really want to focus on education, community, and equality. And those are big, broad things.
Okay.
So education, all about preschool education, expanding on my way pre-K. We know Head Start works.
Right.
The best investment you can make in a human being
Yes.
is in early childhood education.
Come on.
So everybody needs to have access to early childhood education. And how about the fact that we don't require our kids to go to school until they're 7?
Ridiculous.
7, when Jennifer McCormick, who is our awesome Secretary of Education in Indiana, is a secretary.
You like her? The one that took over for?
I do like her.
Okay.
I do like her a lot.
See, she can work across the aisle. Already.
You better believe it. I can.
Of course, now she's not gonna have a job in a minute because they got rid of that position.
Yeah. So she's coming out and saying compulsory age of 7. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because she's an educator.
She's an educator, absolutely. We had 600,000 kids show up in public schools in Indiana this year. That we didn't really know we were going to have that big of an increase. So now they're trying to
because Republicans can't count now.
So they're trying to scramble to fully fund. They came out and said, we're going to fully fund public education. But wait a minute, whoops, the numbers were higher, so they backed off that a little bit. Are you kidding me?
Every school district is running short.
We have a teacher shortage crisis in Indiana. It is affecting us and impacting us. And if you don't think that is impacting Indiana manufacturers being able to hire people, logistics tech companies being able to hire people, it does.
Absolutely. Or getting Amazon?
Yeah. So I think so.
No, it's not happening.
Well, you know that when the hate bill went down, that the Seattle Times was out with it before the Indianapolis.
Yep, they sure were. Yeah. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
No,
I don't think
Sorry,
so.
Indiana.
Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
So, okay, the education I get, which I'm really excited about because public, hopefully you can do something about the autumn damn vouchers.
Yeah. And
because we can't support two school systems.
We cannot support 2 school systems in the state of Indiana. We cannot. It's It's abhorrent.
Especially when we continue to give tax breaks to, big companies and things.
But in the new tax bill, now you can, the 529 plans, now you can do your K through 12.
With the 529?
Yeah, I believe.
Well, but see, public education shouldn't cost so much that you have to save money like that for it. Your primary and your secondary education is so expensive that I need to save money and invest in the stock market to go.
Right.
We got this all backwards.
Right.
We got it all messed up. I mean, that means that the quality of education that a child get is dependent upon how much money the parent makes. There's something terribly wrong with that. Don't tell me we all on the same equal playing field. Come on now. So you say community, and that struck me.
Okay.
Because I want to know what you mean by that.
I mean that, like, communities of opportunity for everybody. Okay. So I have a platform of workforce education. Okay, I'm all about that. And we have new high school graduation requirements coming. If you have a 7th grader, they're coming. We have to fund that. We have to help them manage that. Guidance counselors cannot do that. Okay, so we've got to do that. But every community deserves a good school. There are a lot of rural communities where the school's the heart of the community.
Right.
It's the heart of the community in these rural and even other areas. I'm
Absolutely.
sure North Central is the heart of that community.
Absolutely.
So,
the North area, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
North Central, being a Panther, even where I live now, Lawrence North is that hub. There, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I'm very concerned. I think it impacts our communities in terms of wage inequality.
Okay.
Women still make 74 cents to every dollar.
That would be white women.
Yeah,
women of color make less.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I want to support our law enforcement.
Okay.
And
what do you mean by support our law enforcement? Do you want to go get them heavy armored tanks to drive through the neighborhood?
I want them to have all the training and resources they need to be able to deal with the addicts that they come in contact with and the mental health issues, because so many of the issues they deal with are mental health issues.
Right.
So
they call them frequent flyers. I mean, and I'm not being silly on that, but I work with IMPD daily, and so and understanding a lot of the tools that they use, and I've heard them say frequent flyers, and a lot of times they know the frequent flyers are either they're not violent criminals.
Right.
They are, addicts, or they have
the
mental.
Nuisance
Frequent flyers. And it's interesting that you went that route because a lot of people, especially as Democrats, we hear, I want to help our law enforcement. First thing I thought about was, you're not getting ready to try to militarize my police force, are you?
No, but here's the thing.
But you went straight to mental health and
yes, absolutely. So I'm a dean at Ivy Tech in Lafayette. I oversee the schools of business, supply chain, logistics, information technology, and public and social services.
Okay.
So I oversee everything from criminal justice, human services, to software development, to logistics, to accounting. So really wide range.
You're Gemini for real.
For real, yes. So I oversee students that go out and get jobs with our county sheriff's departments and our city police departments, and I take that very seriously. We put those young men and women out there to serve and protect us.
Right.
And that's what they're there to do, to serve and protect us. So let's make sure they have the tools and the training that they need, so they do that responsibly, ethically, at a community-based level, that we're doing things. I read this thing recently. I don't know where it is, but I think it's in Texas. And maybe Houston.
Sometimes Texas will surprise you.
They will. We can't go back there anymore. My husband had an incident. Anyway. But so they have this.
Parker's from Texas, though. I'm a big groupie for Anise Parker.
Okay.
She's the former mayor of Houston.
Okay.
And out and loving lesbian.
Okay.
So she was an out lesbian and the mayor of the 4th largest city.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Anise Parker.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead. I'm sorry. That's what greatness in Texas looks like. The lesbian can be the mayor of the 4th largest city in America. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, they put this task force together because we know that, going back to gun violence, domestic violence, domestic situations are so volatile, so dangerous for our police officers, for the women that are trying to leave, and that type of thing. So they put this task force together that they go and they don't take their guns, but they go and they talk to them about, listen, we realize this is a really difficult time for you. We don't think this is a good way for... There's a lot more to it than what I...
sure, obviously, right.
But they've had very high
only
success
an hour show.
rates. Yeah, they've had really high success rates of removing firearms from these homes where they believe there's a volatile, dangerous situation. And it's, we're not taking them forever. We just want to take them out here for a while till everybody cools down and, you know. And they've had great success with that. So I want our...
Texas.
I think, but I don't know.
It could be. And I won't quote you, but dang. Well, there's a couple things that Texas did. You talked about education and you talked about technology. Texas was one of the first places that said, "Oh, let's infuse technology into our primary and secondary education." Yeah, they were one of the first to do it. You know, so Texas ain't all about getting out the bushes.
Yeah, can we talk about that too? Yeah. Oh, man.
I stole that from Jesse Jackson.
I know.
Because he told us to stay out the bushes and we did not listen.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Let's talk about that too. K through 12. So there's a big push right now by our state legislators. We want to put computer science at every level. Wrong. No. Computer science is a very distinct specific area of study.
It is.
Computer science takes... calculus. You have to take calculus 1 and 2 your first couple semesters in.
That's not what you need.
No.
That's not what you need.
We need to put tech everywhere, across the board, saturate it. But it's not computer science. And that tells you how out of touch our leaders are because they don't even know the right
difference. They don't even know the difference. They don't know the difference.
Even know the difference.
They don't know the difference. And they won't ask anybody.
No.
Because I am, someone so long from whatever the heck county I'm from. Yeah. Fort Wayne, whatever. Yeah. They don't care. They don't care. I mean, they would rather, pass legislation that says that, loan shark companies can charge you 222%.
No, don't get me started on predatory lenders, not payday lenders. Predatory lenders.
Ooh, you are serious about it all.
So
but anyway,
serious.
Back to the tech. Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure you know the difference between computer science and technology. Please. There is a huge difference.
Huge difference.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you mean predatory lenders? And we still have one more point that we have to get to on what your platform is. We ain't there yet, but listen.
I might have to come back.
You win. You come on back. Listen, because you know what? The great thing about this show is that we're trying to offer an opportunity for all Democrats who are running for office or are already elected to office as a means to share their vision with the state of Indiana. Hopefully our listenership will grow. Tell your friends about Turn Left. Tell your friends. And so the whole goal is, your energy rivals mine 110%.
Yeah.
I can see us out on the stump together. I can see it.
We're going. We're there.
But anyway, tell us more about what your feelings about predatory lending.
This is actually something that I've worked on because it's near and dear to my heart in terms of Ivy Tech students. Because they are very vulnerable. They live paycheck to paycheck. Are you kidding me? They sometimes they don't live paycheck to paycheck.
Right. They don't even make it to paycheck.
That's exactly right. That would be a gift to be able to live paycheck to paycheck. So our students are very vulnerable for that kind of thing. And to think that we let them come back in, and there's so many great resources out there. I work with a group in Tippecanoe County. Homestead is the name of the group. They're doing great things, but financial counseling and financial independence, financial literacy, so important. And that's where we should be spending our time and treasure on teaching folks and how to manage their money, but not letting them go in and take a predatory loan.
Right. And I remember the credit card thing. I remember when President Barack Obama came in, one of the biggest things that he wanted to tackle in his first year was the predatory lender or the creditors. I don't know what you call them, but they would, they're running around on these campuses, handing out these credit cards to these kids who don't even understand what debt and what that looks like, and then getting them into debt where once you're in it, you don't get out of it, right?
Right.
But I also remember how he had to negotiate the deal, and it wasn't what we started out. It wasn't, and I knew, and for me that July 2009, I knew exactly how the rest of his presidency was going to go. We didn't get everything we wanted. We got a lot of stuff. We moved America forward.
Yeah.
You know, but that bill, it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be, or people on the left had hoped it would be.
Yeah.
So you got one more point, because we talked about education, we talked about community. What's that third thing again?
Equality.
Equality. Okay. Well, what do you mean? I mean, I'm left-handed. Are you left-handed?
No.
Oh, that's the only.
Uh-oh.
That's the only thing.
We could, we can
be
images.
There we go. There we go. See, what went through my mind was, I can be your negative. Hey, look, I know I'm chocolate. I'm good. Don't feel bad. I know who I
am. No, you know why the hate bill went down, right? Why the hate crimes bill went down? Because of the letters. Because of the letters.
The L, the B, T, the Q's.
And they were even kind of okay with the L and the B and the G.
What is it with the T?
The T, that don't like the T.
What's wrong with the T's? The T's are amazing.
They are amazing.
Don't they realize the T's are the reason why the Stonewall riot even happened?
Yes.
The drag queens and the trans women were like, yo, enough of this.
Yes.
I mean, because people ask me, why do we call ourselves Stonewall Democrats? And the first thing they think about is Stonewall Jackson and Stone Mountain in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, gay folks ain't going like that. We're not going with the Confederacy. But that's what it was. It was the so the T's. There's no way we would ever, as a family of letters, give up our T's.
Right. And
they just mad because they can't tell them apart.
Yes. Yeah. And so my understanding was actually that Governor Holcomb said, listen, either pass it with all the letters or pull it. So that there was a lot of pressure for a lot of people that said either pass it all the way or put it forward all the way or pull it.
I wish I knew who had the problem with the T. Maybe they have their own problem with their own levels of T.
It always comes out that way.
I mean, they have their, that that other T.
Yeah.
They so worried about their own T, they transferring their T to somebody else's T.
Yeah, we're all about the E.
Equality. Innies instead of outies. But go ahead.
Estrogen.
Baby, say it again. I love it. Bring it. Because we have more estrogen and we don't have to worry about such silliness.
There you go.
Because we're nurturers. We will love our children no matter what.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what
if your child comes to you at the age of 5, 6 and says, Mommy, when am I going to be a girl? Mommy, when, so, it
is what it is.
Until you stand in that parent's shoes, you have no idea. And the things I see are very concerning to me. Like, we know the bathroom protection gone. But one of the most alarming things that I see, or I think is happening, is with healthcare professionals being able to say, no, I'm not going to treat this person because they're transgender. Are you kidding me? That's unconscionable to me.
And so the bathroom protection thing actually hit home with me. Not because I'm trans, but because I'm gender nonconforming, as they call it. Mm-hmm. So depending on the day of the week, you're not exactly sure what my gender is because I don't outwardly display that I am a woman. I know I'm a girl. I am very much a woman. I've never thought I was anything other than a woman, but I prefer to present masculine because that's how I feel like I look good.
You do
I'm
look
just
good.
saying. I just be looking like,
does
what?
Look good. She looks better in person, too.
I'll stop. So my thing was, when I go to the ladies' room, I know that I'm a lady, but you may not know. It's not like, I was blessed with a whole bunch of up top for you to take. It's not like I'm super curvy with, a nice hips and all that.
Yep.
So you don't know what my gender is. How do you prove my gender? How do I have to prove? And that was something, you didn't have to be a T to have to deal with that. Right. Here I was, a woman who acknowledged my womanness, but because I didn't dress and present in a way that was comfortable for you.
Yes.
And when I had my short hair, oh my God. Yeah. And I have a square jawline. There are just so many traits. One thing I don't have is the Adam's apple.
Yeah.
But people make rash decisions, and so I went to a trans rally and had the rally for trans, and I spoke at the rally because I understood, not because I was trans, but I understood what the implication of treating them bad because you don't know what their gender is.
Yeah.
Right. And another thing, and you don't have to echo any of this. This is just me.
Okay.
I'm not running for office in 2018. you get the one of the great things about the First Amendment is the freedom of religion, and that also means freedom from religion. So if you
isn't that why they came over? Isn't that why they came?
That's why they came and stole it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because God told them to.
Yeah.
God told them to come and commit genocide. I'm sorry, that's not what. But if you believe a certain way, fine, believe that way. I know how I felt at 6 years old, at 8 years old.
Right.
You know, I couldn't understand why I couldn't have my brother's hand-me-downs.
Right.
My mother was like, no, you're a girl. But everybody else gets their siblings hand-me-downs. How come I can't have my brother's hand? Why couldn't I have black skates? Why? Because I'm a girl, I have to have white skates. Why do I have to have a pink bike? Why can't I have a black? I mean, there were just certain things as a young, even a kid, I didn't understand.
Right.
I had to conform to this thing.
Right.
So let your religion tell you how to live your life. Don't let your religion tell you that you should be living somebody else's life for them in the way they should live it.
Absolutely.
I want you to pray. I want you to have a oneness with with spirituality, but don't allow your spirituality to dictate who I should be.
Absolutely.
So when, like you said, when the child comes to you at 6 years old, you know, what are you gonna do?
Right.
What are you going to do?
You're going to support your child and love your child. Is at least what you should be doing.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
But I know I have a lot of horrible stories of friends, and I've been out since 1990. So, you know, I was out even before it was cool to be out. And then I was never one of those cool lesbians. You know, the cool lesbians were the real pretty lesbians. I wasn't doing the lipstick thing. And I remember stories and seeing young people, especially young people of color, struggling just to have a roof over their head and get a meal to eat because their parents
threw them out.
Threw them out.
Right.
How do you discard?
Right.
Look, me and my wife had a dog, and just the idea of this thing that you love, that you know, your child.
Right.
That you gave birth to and you carried for 9 months, you're going to disown them because they don't see the world the way you see it?
Right.
So but you also have to be talking about other kind of equality too, though, right?
Absolutely.
Come on with it.
And as a woman who's always been too loud, too always. I was too much.
Baby, big personalities just be like that.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, it's our time. I just feel like it's our time to say, you know, sit down. It's not too much.
It is.
Take a seat.
Oprah called it. You know, it's over. You had a nice run.
Yeah.
You know, did you enjoy those last 400 years of ruling? It's over.
Steve Bannon's calling it.
Oh my God, it's over. I mean, and the thing is I know some of my women, sister girls, some of them are going to be doing things, Susan Brooks, that I am not going to be a fan of. Susan Brooks, I already know people like Susan Brooks will be out there doing whatever the heck she does. But honestly, I even think with more Republican women, we have a better shot at governing than we do with no women. Even remember the crazy abortion bill from 2015? It was Republican women, even with that supermajority.
Yeah.
It was Republican women who said, "Y'all crazy.
Right.
You way all up in my uterus. I'm gonna need you to get out of there. With your legislation.
Yeah.
So I need, you know, quality, thought-provoking, strong Republican women to also run for office. I just need you. Maybe you can get your boys in check.
And here's something I talk about all the time as well. Contraception, affordable contraception, is an economic issue. Affordable contraception and access to contraception is a workforce issue.
Okay.
And nobody in Indiana can meet their workforce needs right now.
Right.
Nobody.
Brain drain.
Nobody can. Okay. The last thing we need to be doing is taking women out of the workforce. And we know when you have an unplanned, perhaps high-risk, medically complicated pregnancy, that can take you out of the workforce and put a family in poverty for generations.
Absolutely.
So enough with the nonsense.
Well, and that's what I don't understand. You go get your Viagra.
That's right.
You know, you make sure you working on point all the time, but there's no protection. So, but women, we have to take control of this.
Yes.
We can't keep expecting people who don't understand what it is to be us to govern for us. Meaning, we need more people of color. We need more women. And I'm still having an issue with the fact that, you know, they were passing, you know, RFRA, and there wasn't an openly out gay person in the room, because I know some of them be playing footsie in the bathroom. Y'all know they do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we're not at the table, and we need to have more women at the table talking about equality, equal pay for equal work. It's really all that simple. But we can make it happen. We can have this revolution in 2018. What you think?
Absolutely. I know we can. And I've been trying to come up with something. Maybe you guys can help me out there. Like, pink and blue makes what, lavender?
Yeah, but see, pink. Well, red and white make pink.
Yeah.
So pink isn't a primary color. So
yeah, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if we're, you know, this pink women's wave, but we want to bring a blue wave. I don't know. It's a bridge too far.
A purple wave. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So, getting back to also though talking about community, and again, I bring it back to tech all the time. Because we live in a state that has amazing tech stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Right? Salesforce, interactive intelligence. I mean, you name it. You name it. You know, so much going on. But yet, guess what? Our DCS system that we know is a mess, guess what one of their biggest problem is? They're outdated, non-functioning computer system.
It's on a mainframe.
What are they doing, DOS?
And it's on a mainframe.
Yeah.
It is on a...
That's unconscionable.
Mainframe.
The child support system. So that could go down literally at any moment for who knows how long. And we're talking about people not getting their child support that they live on.
I want you to understand mainframe for just a second. This here is an LG L6 phone. I have more technology in this 2-year-old phone than there is in any mainframe. Please understand that there is more technology in my little hand than the DCS system that is charged with looking after our most vulnerable people in our state.
Indiana has an amazing tech ecosystem.
Absolutely.
An amazing tech economy. We've got the infrastructure. We've got the talent. We've got low cost of living rates and housing rates. We've got it all. We can't fix those problems?
Well, no, you can't fix them, because one of the things that is I'm going to tell you why you can't. I'm going to be your devil's advocate today, all right? I'm going to speak Republican. So, the reason why we can't fix it is because we are cutting taxes for corporate America so we can have more coal burning. And then down in Evansville, we can burn more coal and have more coal ash pits. We got to pay for that. And then we're going to...
more low-income housing in schools.
Right. And then once we get done with the coal burning plants, we're going to do some fracking.
Yeah.
We're going to do some fracking. So we got to pay for that. So the idea that we would have any tax dollars, and mind you, you know, if you fall in a pothole, and if you're in a rural area, you sure as heck don't need high-speed internet. Don't even worry about it, because it's on a DOS. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So we can't pay for that because we are cutting taxes on the people that can afford to contribute the most, and making it, we're hurting, and the most vulnerable among us are at risk.
Correct.
So we know we can't do that. This is Indiana. We're the model.
But I think we challenge our tech leaders.
I think we do.
Mike Langelier, are you listening? You know,
drop names, baby. Drop names.
You need to help us out.
And you know what? Think about it. If the liquor lobby and the liquor store lobby can get together and create legislation, then I'm gonna need a tech lobby to get together and say, let's sort out for our legislators what they can't do for themselves. You feel me? Because when the liquor industry said, "Oh, we want to sell on Sunday," we had a bill. I say we have a tech industry lobby get together and say, let's write some legislation for these clowns, because they don't know how to do it, and let's make sure that we are educating our workforce. And look, we can't, I've said it once, I've said it twice, and I've only got 3 minutes, so I want to make sure I get it in. Yeah, I know, I'm quick, girl, I'm quick.
We only had 3 minutes.
I know, I'm telling you. So, Carrier and Rexnard, we can't control what these companies do. They have every right to go. It sucks that they did it. We hate that they did it, but they have the right to move their businesses and do what they want to do. But what are we going to do with the workers? Just like when plants become outdated, we retool the plant.
Yeah, and
we need to retool these people.
We do, and here's the other thing. Indiana, #1 in manufacturing. So many of our jobs, our economy depends on manufacturing, but those manufacturing jobs everything is going tech. Tech's at the intersection of everything we do. Everything we do. So we need to pull that brain trust of tech, amazing tech startups and leaders and people doing unbelievable things in downtown Indianapolis.
And write legislation for the
pull them across the street to the State House.
All right. Tell the people where they can find you, because if you guys are, I don't know about y'all, I'm fired up.
Let's get fired up.
Sherry Shipley got me fired up. Tell the people where they can find you.
Shipley for Indiana. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. My website is under construction right now. Because as you know, we started out in the 4th Congressional District.
Yep.
But people kept getting into that race. Crazy how many people are in that race. So we have flipped to the Senate District 22 race. Still under construction on the website.
No
worries. It will be up soon. So you can find us.
And is there a way for them to donate to your campaign and sign up to be volunteers?
Absolutely. All right. On the website it'll be there. We're on Act Blue. You can find us. So.
All right. Because she's gonna need people to donate. She's gonna need people to knock doors. She's a high energy candidate, y'all. I think you recognize where that energy. I think if you spit ebony and ivory, I'm telling you, we in the spot today. We was in the spot.
We're do karaoke too.
And my wife said I can't sing in public ever.
Okay.
She said if I wanted to get married, I could never sing in public, and it's part of.
I don't do math in public.
Yeah. That was part of the prenuptial agreement. You cannot. You are not allowed to sing in public.
I respect that.
Sherry Shipley, thank you so much for joining us on Turn Left.
Thank you for your work and everything you're doing around the state. You're everywhere. You're on fire.
I appreciate. Well, it's because of people like you. I want to make sure that I help you get elected. I want to make sure that all good Democrats who are running for office. Look, the deadline is done. The folks that are running are running. This is it. They're in. They're running. So listen, check us out next week. Turn Left. We'll have another great guest on the show. I don't know if she's going to be hard to follow up.
Send the bar high.
You're getting two ladies on the show together. It's a bad thing. Yo, Indiana's own Dana Black. Turn Left. Radio Next. HB. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all next week.